What's happening? It's your man, Michael Andrula, with another mini episode just to inspire you, just to pick you up. It is the end of 2014. I'm considering it the end, final quarter. So you have a couple options. So you have the option of being absolutely stuck in the same spot. That feeling is probably with you every Monday, every day you start back up, because life is it's a lot of problems you have to solve every day, a lot of daily challenges. So we want to envision a situation where the victory is near, and you're going to need to be the architect of that type of idea. And that's really the idea behind Reboot Camp Retreats, which we started several years ago, which we take people to different countries, different places, mainly doing the next one in February in Costa Rica, but we've done Italy, Paris, Mexico, plan on doing Switzerland and Colorado soon. The point of it is you need a big occasion, you need a big event that you can feel like you're victorious at, and you don't need to do a competition, and you don't need to do certain things. I was going to throw in Tough Mudders or jiu-jitsu competitions or even MMA fights, because the risk versus reward might not be worth it. This is a situation where you're going to have a fantastic time, but most importantly, it allows you to build up to it. So a lot of people need an event, a big emotional event where you've invested money, invested time, you've invested research, you've learned, maybe you've studied the language of the location we're going to. So I know not everybody can go on these retreats. It's fairly expensive depending on what your financial situation is, but that doesn't mean you can't have your own victories near philosophy. You can set up your own event, your own situation, and it might not be physical, and reboot camps are physical, but they're also psychological, where you're resetting, you're going to a place that you don't speak the language, your phone doesn't work, you'll have to learn how to survive, and this is a situation where the best comes out of you, and the best of people come out of you, and you realize you don't need all the stuff that you have. You don't need fancy things. You don't need a fancy car. You don't even need a fancy apartment to be incredibly happy, and that's one reason I love Costa Rica. Many of the people there are just much, 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 much more happy with almost nothing compared to most people that are miserable. Humans have the ability to want almost anything and want an unending amount of things. So it's, at the end of the day, it's true. The best things in life are free. Food, hopefully sex, natural environments. This is enjoyable to your human eyes, your human brain. This is what we've evolved to. When you see abundance, when you see sea and birds and fish and plenty of food and people smiling, this is abundance. Your brain recognizes that as being enjoyable. And so I'm out here, guys, doing this. I've set up my own victories near situations all the time because I need it. I need it, like desperately need it, obsessively need it. And I'm hoping that when I get a victory near situation, what is that for me? Like doing a video shoot with Steve Maxwell, I think next week. And, Steve Maxwell, I think he's 60, maybe 63 now, incredible shape. I envision myself being like Steve Maxwell when I'm 63, in fantastic shape, maybe touring the world, still educating people, not retired. I can't retire. My brain would go crazy. It's a victories near situation where I'm going to shoot this as a big event. After that, I have another victory near situation with Graham Hancock doing a sit-down interview in New York. If you don't know Graham Hancock, he's just a fantastic author, brilliant storyteller, and a researcher beyond any researcher that I know, where he actually dives deep into it. So there's small victories near situations, and that's why I see the value in like the Spartan race and the Warrior Dash. Even though I'm personally, I don't get off on being in big groups and big group events. I don't personally like it, but I see value for people that, for a social thing, and to get out there. It's better than you guys, drinking your day away. So I appreciate that situation. But it doesn't need to be any of that. Victories near situations could be you just taking a class, doing kickboxing, taking a walk, doing something that scares you just a little bit. So that's all on a scale. You might not be comfortable doing anything. So if you take a class, you take kickboxing class, then you're going to feel that sense of accomplishment, that victory. And it's the small victories that get you to the larger victories. So momentum is just a fantastic tool in your life. It's a fantastic tool when you're striking. Just an example, if you're in karate, it's very difficult to teach people high-level techniques because they want it to be done with almost no momentum. You have to be able to control it at every step, which is a great thing to do. But when you put momentum in, when you allow people to use momentum and build momentum in their striking, they can learn a lot quicker because the energy is going with you. It's rolling with you. And it's very similar in your everyday life. If you are allowing yourself to build momentum, even small, tiny things, just getting you going, getting the ball rolling, it's much harder to take you out, much harder to put you down because momentum just carries to the next day. So that's what I'm urging everybody to do. That's what I urge myself to do. If you're not completely happy, if you're not waking up with a smile on your face, feeling fantastic, you need to develop something that builds momentum, feels like a victory is near. And that could happen today. It could happen right now. You can make a decision. You can go and book something. You can set up a situation where you have to do it. You call your friend. You're like, we're doing this class, or we're doing this event, or we're coming to reboot camp. This is incredibly important. And that's all I want to do. I don't want to take up a lot of your time. I know being on the internet, listening to things, taking in information could be damaging to some people. You want to get out there in the real world and enjoy your life. So all these are simple reminders. They're little signs on the path that tell you to stay on the path. So hopefully it's enjoyable, and I really appreciate everybody for listening. And I didn't have the background. You look at other podcasters, we're number maybe 18 on Stitcher's All-Star Comedy list. We're in comedy first off because of, Joe Rogan's podcast is it's not a comedy podcast. I mean, it's got funny things, just like I believe ours has funny things, but it's a life a category. Hopefully you look at life with a shade of comedy, because it is quite funny if you look at it through those eyes, and that's why we're in a comedy setting. So I don't have a big background. I wouldn't host Fear Factor or UFC or anything like that. I do have a really big base with the CKO kickboxing family, and of course with YouTube. I started making videos when I was in high school, and we started going strong with the channel probably in 2009, 2008, and we just, Venuto obviously helped me out big time. So it's unexpected that we would be this popular. So I really appreciate it. I thank everybody for supporting it, for liking it, subscribing, and writing comments and sharing it with their friends. Obviously, it helps me. I don't care if one person hears it, but the fact that thousands and thousands of people are hearing these is quite motivational for me. So what else do we have coming up? We have the Costa Rica Now people, and they move to Costa Rica. They really tell you what it's like, and it's not all just bliss. You're moving to a foreign country. You need to learn the customs. Costa Ricans are not going to operate in the same mentality that you operate in, so it's incredibly important to understand that. We have comedian Maddie Goldberg coming on, fantastic, and we also have NASA scientist Caitlin Mantle, and she studies the atmospheres of Earth and Mars and the current Rosetta project, where they are flying around a little craft and landing it on an asteroid, which is pretty crazy. So those are coming out soon, and I'll be teaching classes throughout the CKOs, so look me up and keep on supporting. Tell people you love them. Make sure you have a fantastic day, guys, because you just never know when this thing is going to end, and who knows what happens when it ends. So let's keep on rocking and rolling. Peace out.